We initially put out a composite drawing of our victim from Hortense Place, and so today we want to issue a what we believe is a better likeness of her in hopes of garnering some attention that will enable us to identify her. But at approximately 7:15 a.m. on the morning of Thursday, September 1st, an unidentified female was found deceased of apparent gunshot wounds, lying in the middle of the street on Hortense near its intersection with Florence Place Northwest. According to the medical examiner, she appears to be between the ages of 16 and 22 years old, and she had only been deceased for just a few hours. We had some reports of gunshots around 5 or 5:30 that morning, so this would have been about 2 hours later after daybreak when someone found the young lady lying in the street. She had short black hair and brown eyes. She was approximately 5'7" and weighed about 179 pounds. She had multiple linear scars on her left inner thigh and left ankle as well. She was found wearing a long sleeve black Adidas warm-up jacket, a blue and white striped t-shirt, black denim jeans, multicolored socks, and pink Nike flip-flops. A red floor scarf was found underneath her body, so we believe she may have been wearing that on her head at the time. Her earlobes were pierced twice in both ear. The image that we're releasing today is a facial reconstruction completed by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. It was completed by a forensic artist from that organization and depicts the female that we believe is going to be our victim. The young lady was shot multiple times at close range and in the area of her head and torso. There has to be someone out there, we believe, that knows who she is. There's got to be someone that's missing her, someone that cares for her, and so with that in mind, we want to get this out. Hopefully someone will recognize her and give us a call, and so that will help us to solve this case, hopefully, and also to bring some sort of closure to one of her loved ones.
Major, do you have any reason to believe that this young woman was homeless?
We don't have any reason to believe that she was homeless. Her appearance was clean. Her weight was normal. So she doesn't appear to be missing nourishment. So we believe that she was well cared for wherever she was prior to this incident. It's just unfortunate, and it appears to be a very heinous crime because she was, like I said, she was shot at very close range. So her assailant had to be standing right next to her, or if not standing, was in the area in her immediate proximity when she was shot.
And I'm sorry if I missed this. I know she didn't have an ID on her purse, backpack.
She had nothing. That's the dilemma that we have right now, because normally we would look for things. We would look for ID. We would look for receipts. If she had gone to a store, if we had a receipt even, we might be able to go back to the store and see that she was on video at that store. We have absolutely nothing in her pockets, no identification, nothing that would help us to immediately identify her without someone else possibly recognizing. And I'm hoping that this image will ring a bell, with somebody.
Does it then make you believe that maybe robbery here was the motive, that she didn't have a purse or a backpack or anything with her?
Well, I'll tell you, this young lady appeared to be so young. We even had a FBI identification specialist to help us out with it, and her fingerprints are not in any type of database, criminal or non-criminal. So that is an indication that she's very young. Most of us at some point in our lives as adults, have given our fingerprints somewhere along the lines for a job or something that may not be criminal. So her fingerprints are nowhere. So that tells me that she's a very young person, and this was done by the FBI on a national level. So even if she was from as far away as California, if she had had a job where she had to give a fingerprint, or if she had been arrested for some reason, we would probably have something on her at this point.
Who placed the 911 call?
I believe it was a person living in the area that after the daylight saw her lying in the street. We believe this incident probably happened during the early morning hours before daybreak. And like I said, I believe there was some gunshots reported. You know, someone called 911, and maybe, and they just didn't see her at the time. I don't know if officers went out to that location.
No, they didn't call 911.
Okay. Okay.
They say it's a usual occurrence.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they didn't call 911
Okay.
after daybreak.
So
Okay.
folks in the neighborhood are used to hearing gunshots.
Right.
That's why the call wasn't placed.
Right. So this is not the first time that we've had situations like this where an assault may have occurred at night, and then after daybreak, after the sun comes out, people can see clearly things that they would not have seen in the darkness.
Visually, you're a married father. I know that every case like this matters to you. What do you say as a father knowing that this is a very young victim?
Well, it's shocking. It's shocking that it's so heinous that someone would do something like this to what may possibly be a child. And so if someone was capable of doing something like this, then they are capable of any amount of violence that you can imagine or can imagine. So we want to get this person off the street. Anybody that would do something like this is definitely a menace to our society, and needs to be removed from the streets. Any more questions?